how to get what we truly want, mental, emotionally, relationally, financially, and even physically. I used to be brought up in a sometimes mental, emotionally unsafe environment, which resulted in trying to solve my mental, emotional issues for a large part of my life. I also was brought up with a scarcity mindset, which resulted in trying to get rid of my scarcity reality and my financial problems also for the most part of my life. And also the environment where I was being brought up in didn't actually reflect harmonious, peaceful, loving relationships, which also resulted in trying to find harmonious relationships and trying to resolve my relationship problems for most part of my life. And then finally, after having been diagnosed with meningitis, which is a life-threatening disease at the age of 8, and after having been laughed at the age of 12 for being very, very skinny, a large part of my life I was busy with trying to resolve my physical issues as well. And what I discovered and what I want to share with you in this video is that the direction that we all are programmed to believe to find and look for relief actually brings us further and further and further away from actually finding relief. Until I finally got burned out and got a depression after experiencing that not even achieving world success at the age of 19 couldn't actually bring me any liberation from my issues. But because I had survived a life-threatening disease and I was grateful for having had that second chance of living, I didn't want to give up. And I also noticed the same restlessness, the same urge for distractions with the people and the celebrities I got to know along my path. Many of them became addicted to cocaine or alcohol. Many were addicted to buying stuff. Many were actually hiding behind a shiny mask of pretending otherwise to the outer world until their mask cracked also, obviously. But why is it that that direction doesn't actually bring us any relief at all? I know that life is way too precious, so I don't want to give you any superficial direction. So let's go back to the origin, the root of the problem. Now let's imagine this hand is our pure, complete, fulfilled, unharmed and untouched heart and feelings at the moment we are born. Then from the moment we are born until now, we all experience painful emotions. And that pain sits around our pure, complete, fulfilled heart and feelings. But none of us have actually learned how to resolve that pain. But we all learn to cope with this in a different way. Do you know how? By building a thick wall around our feelings, around our pain, but also around our pure, complete, fulfilled, untouched heart. And do you know how we build that wall? By starting to live in our constant thinking in our mind away from our feelings, into constant distractions away from our feelings, like into being busy all the time. Like into constant restless thinking, into analyzing, into binge watching, into being busy with our phone all the time, into gaming, into addictions, into relationships, into drama, etc., etc., etc. And at a certain point, we are so busy in running away from our feelings into our thinking and into our distractions that we cannot even see that the direction that we are heading towards is the wrong, unhealthy direction that will never bring us what we actually are looking for. Could it be that we are so busy in looking and hunting for a feeling of peace of mind and complete fulfillment outside of ourselves by restlessly hunting towards it? And can we ever feel a feeling outside of ourselves? And still we are so busy in that external direction that we don't even question this opposite truth. But luckily, I got so depressed and burned out in that exhausting direction that I couldn't find any energy left to continue in that direction. And because I was grateful for having had that second chance of living, I was determined to actually find the solution, to find actually relief or liberation from all my inner turmoil, from all my mental, emotional issues, from all my relational issues, from all my financial issues, and from all my physical issues. I was actually so happy or lucky or blessed actually that the external hunt didn't ever bring me a feeling of fulfillment that I was looking for. That made me actually make a 180-degree U-turn and go and search for that feeling that I was looking for all of my life. And what I discovered is that once we learn to find a feeling within ourselves and learn to flush out all of our traumas, that all of a sudden the only feeling left to be experienced is the feeling of independent fulfillment, so independent of my circumstances. And also, when the only feeling left to actually experience is the feeling of independent, complete fulfillment, all of a sudden, all of our fears to feel unresolved issues are also disappearing because we feel independently fulfilled anyway. All of a sudden, the mental, emotional restlessness also disappears because we feel independently fulfilled anyway. And because we feel independently fulfilled, we also reconnect or relate with our pure, authentic core again. And when we are truly relating with our soul or a true, independently fulfilled core, we also become a magnet for true relation or true connection or true love with another as well. Because who wouldn't want to be around you when you feel completely connected with yourself and feel independently fulfilled? And finally, when we feel independently fulfilled and reconnected with our soul, with our heart, we also reconnect with our authentic purpose, from which each and every one of us is actually designed to flow over into natural abundance from what we authentically have to give. And once we feel independently fulfilled again and related or connected with our soul again and with our soul's purpose again, we also reconnect with our true inner value. And we start feeling abundance from the inside out. And we can only actually pour out in the world what we contain. And once we start feeling the abundance from within, independent of our external circumstances, then abundance will be a natural consequence. You know how? By actually learning to put your discovered authentic purpose into practice, into reality, into a product or service that truly helps improve the quality of a limitless amount of people, then a natural consequence will also be a limitless financial flow back naturally. And the more I learned to put all these steps into reality, the more enthusiastic I became. So I wanted to pay it forward to as many people as possible. So I started with my friends and family, and I wanted to pay forward what I had discovered. But I learned the hard way that the more I was trying to pay it forward, the more resistance I received. And at first I didn't want to pay forward any of the insights anymore, until I realized that the people who are actually asking for it are actually very grateful for receiving these steps and, for more importantly, for actually putting it into reality. And after heartwarming and soul-touching results, after having coached many people for a few years one-on-one to actually put it into practice and to see what it does to them, I felt repeating myself over and over again that I wanted to learn everything, how to put these same insights and steps into a very simple to follow blueprint. And this exact same blueprint liberated me from all my mental, emotional issues until the only feeling of complete and lasting fulfillment left to be experienced. It resolved all my relational problems. It also resolved my financial problems, and it actually also resolved my physical problems. Instead of giving away my body or my sovereignty to the unnatural food industry or to the unnatural pharmaceutical industry, I learned everything how we can actually remove all of our physical blockages, so that the intelligence of nature, which is way smarter than the smartest of minds, can actually restore the function with the whole again, which is actually, for me, the true meaning of healing. And this actually, for example, resulted in my physical body measuring 16 years younger than my actual calendar age of almost 50 years old. And for example, my measured HRV, which is a measure for youthfulness and fitness, measures double the value of a 20-year-old, even though I'm almost 50 years old. In short, the only thing we need to learn is actually to deprogram ourselves from the unhealthy, wrong direction and learn to make a 180-degree U-turn, learn to flush out all of our traumas, learn to reconnect with our soul, with our complete feelings, with our feelings of abundance, with our authentic purpose, learn to put our authentic purpose into reality, and a financial flow back will be a natural consequence, and then learn to take all of our physical blockages away so that the intelligence of nature itself can restore our optimal, powerful, healthy self. Does this 180-degree U-turn approach resonate with you? If it does, please let me know in the comment box below and also share with your friends. Now, I've experienced myself that time is the most precious thing, and that most of the time we only ask that question at the end of our lives, but I'm going to ask that question to you right now. Are you ready to make that 180-degree U-turn with me? Or you want to keep spending your precious time and money into outer distractions that will never give you the fulfillment that you are actually looking for? Only for the people who are truly committed to make this 180-degree liberating journey, I will give you my all. I will give you my personal support together with my exact and complete blueprint, mental, emotionally, relationally, financially, and physically. If you want to be the truly liberated inspiration by example that the world really needs right now, then click here and enter the waiting list. And once a spot becomes available, I will email you, and then you can allow yourself lifetime access with lifetime support so you can experience it for yourself as well. Do you want to know what the great extra is about taking that 180-degree U-turn? That you don't need any external motivation or inspiration anymore. Because if we learn to take this step from the inside out, then every step actually works. Which actually means that every single step you take will actually makes you feel more liberated, more fulfilled, more reconnected, more abundant from the inside out. Now, finally having taken that 180-degree U-turn was actually the greatest journey I have ever made. And I'm looking forward to taking it with you.